After going first overall in 2015, Jameis has had a crazy career to say the least, and is now looking to helm a very interesting Saints team. So what's he gonna do?
Winston out of the shotgun. Tosses end zone, touchdown!
I talked about Jameis' story in this video, so let's fast forward to the end of his time in Tampa Bay. After playing with the team for 4 years, Jameis' pick problem was just too much to handle, and so the Bucs decided to replace him with the GOAT and Tom Brady. I mean, if you're gonna be replaced, at least it's a guy like Tom. But anyways, Jameis' time in Tampa had come to a very abrupt end. Although he left the Bucs, Jameis ended up not going too far, as he signed a 1-year deal with the Saints to back up good old Drew Brees. The contract itself was pretty small, with a $1.1 million base and possibility for $3.4 in incentives, but most importantly allowed Jameis to be in the NFL, so he decided to go for it. As a backup to a future Hall of Famer, not much was expected out of Jameis, and he really didn't do much at all, but still was able to prove that he could do his thing when it was needed.
Now Winston, now Traquan Smith, flag is down, Smith is into the end zone for a touchdown.
There was a great deal of speculation that Drew Brees was going to end up retiring following the Saints' loss to, funny enough, Tampa, and it turned out to be true. A few months after the loss, Drew was out of the NFL, and the Saints quarterback situation suddenly became very interesting. The question has now become Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston at QB1. And now that the team signed Jameis to a $12 million 1-year deal, it's looking like Jameis is definitely going to get some work at Q. What's good for Jameis is that under Sean Payton, the Saints have used a traditional quarterback, and that style works much better for him than Taysom. The thing about Taysom is that he is a gadget player, and just doesn't seem to fit as a pure quarterback in the Saints offense. Nothing against Taysom, but Jameis fits that starting quarterback role much better. And if he can establish some consistency in his game, then he could definitely stay in New Orleans a bit longer than expected. Although he's coming off of a future Hall of Famer in Drew Brees, I'm sure the Saints are not expecting anything crazy, and instead just need someone to facilitate an offense with a ton of talent. Even though the Saints will likely be patient with Jameis, he still needs to show up and fix his whole pick problem. It's tough to lead a team to any legitimate postseason success with 30 picks, so Jameis definitely needs to fine-tune his game, but thankfully for Jameis, with the Saints he won't have to carry the offense with a guy like Kamara running the ball. I doubt that Jameis will get even remotely close to 5,000 passing yards if he plays in 21, and hopefully that lessened pressure helps him perform on a much higher level. Upon that, we gotta keep our expectations level, as it's important to consider that even Drew Brees struggled early in his career, and in fact threw nearly the same amount of picks as Jameis when he was younger. If Drew was able to become a legend after starting off rough, then Jameis can at least do some work with the great Saints team around him. Although there is a bit of a depth problem in the wide receiver core, there are studs like Kamara and Michael Thomas, along with a great O-line to help them out. Not only that, but it seems like Jameis likes to play in New Orleans, and that kind of mutual respect is a great sign of what's to come. Not many players re-sign another 1-year deal to the same team, so it's looking like Jameis really wants to be the man in New Orleans, and hopefully prove that he can lead the team to some success. There seems to be a good bond forming between Sean and Jameis, and it makes sense if Sean trusts Jameis to lead a team after losing Drew Brees. Nonetheless, it won't be easy for Jameis, and I'm sure people are counting on him to mess up once again. But it's really just up to his play to determine where the Saints will be heading in the near future. But before we get into the future of Jameis, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more stuff like this, turn on noties in order to stay tuned, and grab a shirt if you want. Anyways, back to the video. The whole situation is set up to be a turning point for one of the biggest dark horses of the past decade. After a strong start to his career with over 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns as a rookie, many speculated that Jameis was on the fast track to becoming one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Sadly for Jameis and the Bucs, his inability to avoid throwing countless picks seemed to be a sign of the times for him in Tampa early on. In his last season with the Bucs, Jameis passed for an insane 5,100 yards and 33 touchdowns, but a rough 30 interceptions as he could just not get a hold of his turnover problem. His interception problem was so severe that it became a meme within the football world, so much so that when you hear Jameis' name, you associate it with picks. That unfavorable association hurt Jameis' stock quite a bit out of Tampa Bay, and is a big reason as to why he got such a small contract with the Saints. It seems like he's trying to change this idea of him in New Orleans, and I think he definitely can with patience. Hopefully he is able to use this offseason to focus his passing on getting to the open guy instead of just trying to stack up yards. In Tampa, Jameis forced the ball way too much and had way too much focus on getting those big plays, much more so than moving the ball. Although it's a pretty normal thing for rookies, Jameis couldn't seem to shake the issue, and throughout his time in Tampa, he just wasn't able to correct it, and it's a big reason the Bucs struggled so much. I mean, the defense was pretty awful, but Jameis' play on offense didn't help anything, and the team consistently struggled because of it. Think about the Bucs as an NFL version of Texas Tech, where the defense is paper thin and the offense is playing tennis with the other team game after game. That's how it was in Tampa, and it's a lot to ask of a quarterback, especially someone as young as Jameis. Now, although Tampa just won a Super Bowl, it wasn't just Brady joining the team, but Antonio Brown, Gronk, and a much more experienced young defense that wanted to win a title, instead of a team that was deflated. All in all, it seems like Jameis has struggled non-stop since he was drafted in 2015. And although he's passed for insane yardage, it's the interceptions that have kept him down and will continue to if he ignores the problem. Hopefully the Saints are helping Jameis with his turnover problems, and in 2021 he can play much better than before. But it's really on Jameis to work enough to be as good as he needs to be with the Saints. Jameis Winston bursted onto the scene with high expectations in Tampa Bay, but interceptions have prevented him from real success, and so now it's up to him as to what he'll do in New Orleans.
Four-man rush and looking for a wide open receiver, and that is a touchdown.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, it'd be awesome if you guys could subscribe, like, and comment down below what videos you want next. Anyways, see you all soon, and peace out.